Hi! Welcome to another GenCon edition of Hey, My Friend Made a Thing. That's literally the title of the show.
Great.
Yeah. And so today I'm talking to Hakan.
Hello.
Who is just really cool, working on lots of good stuff, and has just taken over Games on Demand at just for GenCon or for all the cons?
Just for GenCon. Yep.
Okay, well that's still pretty cool. In case you don't know, Games on Demand is just a really cool idea where people who want to run indie games or whatever kind of games just come and run them at Gen Con, and Games on Demand gives them a little support to do that.
Exactly, they just come on the spot. People can come here, they don't need any reservations, they just give us generic tickets. They get to pick all sorts of weird games they probably didn't hear about before.
You guys have a cool lottery system for hooking up people with games, right?
We have boarding passes. Yeah, people come up to an hour before the slot starts. That's when they can see what games are going to be offered in the next slot. And then they pick up a boarding pass, which will have a letter on it. Then when the slot's about to start, we call them up in random order. So it doesn't matter if you got here an hour early, it doesn't matter if you got here half an hour early, as long as you got a pass, we'll call you up in random order, and you'll get to come down and pick any games. So you don't have to wait in lines, you don't have to register months in advance.
It's pretty cool. I ran for Games on Demand for many, many years. These are great guys, so super happy that Hakan is in charge of that. But I feel like you have a baby of your own you'd like to talk about.
Sure.
Tell us about the cool shit you're making.
Yeah, totally. So I'm one half of Thorny Games with Catherine Himes. We make games about language, different types of games about language. The games that are currently out right now are Dialect and Sign. Dialect is a game about language and how it dies.
Wait. I was there at the Indie Awards when you won.
Yeah, you did win the Indie.
You guys, this is... I didn't even... You're the person who made Dialect. This is amazing. I wanted to talk about it so bad.
Okay, over here.
Okay, awesome. Let's talk about Dialect.
So Dialect, won the IGDN for Best Game this year, and the Silver Emmy for Best Game as well. And it's a game where we tell the whole story of a community through the lens of their language, through the birth, rise, and eventual end of the community. And throughout the game, we'll make words according to what makes the community special, what they hold dear, and how they change with time. And we'll use that language as members of the community. So make up our own language, make up our story, everything like that.
That is so cool. Because I think a lot of people don't really spend a lot of time thinking about, especially in gaming, how the words we use tell you something about the people.
Sure, totally.
Like what they name and what they leave unnamed. And like I know one of my biggest frustrations with like fantasy worlds is how like it assumes that everyone talks the same language and that there aren't like a bajillion languages.
Yeah, or there's just like little flourishes or something that for some reason some groups use.
It's always like, and I get why that is the case, but it's still frustrating to me because for me to have a real lived world, there has to be like just a bajillion different dialects everywhere.
Yeah, no, and so that's what we try to focus on. Language is a really special thing that makes us, that brings us together as humans, and so it's a great thing to make games about. And so Dialect is, our game that's already out, and here we're testing Xenolanguage, which is our game about talking to aliens. It's a game about language and thought, and how language changes how we see the world as well. So that's testing at Games on Demand this year.
And that's called Xenolanguage?
Xenolanguage, yep.
Ooh, and it's playtesting.
Yes, we are playtesting.
Guys, come to Games on Demand and play this fucking game. It sounds so cool.
Yeah, and everyone's volunteered. Everyone's encouraged to also look into our volunteering process. We're at indiegamesondemand.org. We love having people either host to help people find games or run games here. And we get people badges, we get people rooms, and it's just a really special environment. I played my first indie games with Indie Games on Demand at Gen Con about 5 years ago. Dialect is dedicated to Games on Demand. It's a great place to get exposed to these games and play a lot of them and run some of them as well. And make some friends.
That's really, really cool. Is there anything else you want to talk to us about?
No, I think that's
cool.
Most of it. Yeah.
So now tell me something that's happening in the scene or in gaming right now that gets you just super excited. What are you looking forward to? What are you excited about right now?
Probably the things I'm most excited about right now are there's a focus on making games a lot more approachable and accessible, I think, in terms of component design and just making the whole process a lot more seamless, right? Making it so we can tell stories together without spending a lot of time learning new rules and new systems, right? With like something like Starcrossed or For the Cream, and just how easy those are to run. The new version of Fiasco and how easy that's going to be to run, right? All these games just really streamlining the process and really thinking about how we interact with games, right? I think is really special, and we'll do a lot to just like make it so we can just throw these games in our backpack and take them wherever, and not feel like we have to really like remember how they work and be prepared beforehand.
So this is like a big deal to me because one of my favorite games that I've ever written was specifically written so that people who didn't know what role-playing games were could still play it. Like you play Space Junkers, and everybody gets what that is because you can just be like, it's like Wall-E.
Oh, I played in your game of Space Junkers.
You played Trash Planet?
Yeah. I was wondering where I knew you from. Yeah, that was like, how long ago was that? It was like 4 years ago?
Yeah, but it was specifically like the reason it uses 2 decks of cards and 1d6 is because you have cards in your house, even if you're not a gamer.
Yep.
You might not have polyhedrals, but you have a deck of cards and you have like your boggle dice, right?
Yep.
And so anybody can play it. You can technically play it in the car if you want.
Yep, totally. And I remember that I was a space fungus, if I remember.
At the top of the hour?
Sure sounds like a fun guy.
Like
Get it?
Ooh, is that where we stop now? Yeah.
I don't think they're going to tolerate us after that.
Oh sorry.
Anyway,
so it looks like we might have to go.
us.
Okay.
Bye.